Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please not forget to hit on the like button. A young man has taken the laws into his hands because he was trying to avoid paying back the money he collected from somebody else. And he is a community revenue collector. He goes by the name Ifani and he's 29 years old. That's the Ifani that you can see in the picture there. And he collected money from a kinsman who is 19 years old who goes by the name Victor Ebuka. And that is Victor that you are seeing there too. Ebuka gave Paul 100,000 naira. He loaned him some time ago with the intention that Paul has to pay Ebuka back this money. And if going by that, it means they had a specific time for Ifeanyi to pay Ebuka back the money he had collected. And Paul, who is 29 years old, is married with three children, said that sometime in December 2020, he met Ebuka, the 19 years old guy, to borrow him some amount of money, which was 100,000 naira, with the promise that he was going to pay him back in January, precisely 10th of January 2021. And Ebuka willingly gave him the 100,000 naira. But his inability, that is Ifeanyi's inability to pay Ebuka back the loan, he was now trying to figure out a way for him to avoid paying him back because the time for him to pay Ebuka back was actually approaching. And Ifeanyi didn't have the money to pay back. He had to think or diverse a means for him to avoid. There are some people that are like that. When they come to collect money from you, they will sweet talk you and they will give you all manner of expression of, I promise I'm going to pay back. It's easy for them to collect this money from you. But when it's time to pay back, it's a pain. They will tend to forget how they came to you, how you willingly gave them this money. And all they now start to figure out is how to avoid paying back the money that someone willingly gave to them, which is not even right in any way. If someone willingly gives you money, why don't you start calculating in your head first how you should pay back this money to this person? And Ebuka didn't even expect anything that happened to even happen in the first place because all he had at the back of his mind was that Ifeanyi was going to pay him back the money January 10th, 2021. But the unfortunate thing happened. And here is Ifeanyi's side of the story. He actually had something to say when the whole event unfolded, when everything happened. These are Ifeanyi's words. I am married with three children. I dropped out of secondary school at SS2 months after my father died. I learned how to drive and started driving commercial buses. It was not easy for me. 2 years ago, my kinsmen invited me to come and work for the community. My duty was to serve as a revenue collector for the elderly men in the community. We have market days and everyone was expected to drop a certain amount of money. It was going well, but I became greedy and spent part of the money I had collected on behalf of the community. I knew I would lose my job if anyone noticed the shortage. It was out of desperation that I approached Ebuka, who owns a provision store in our village. He was my relative and we are from the same kindred in Umuleri. We are from Umuleri, that is a particular clan we all share together. I borrowed 100,000 naira from Ebuka in December 2020 and promised to pay back on January 10th, 2021. I could not meet up with the deadline, and he kept disturbing me and threatened to report me to the Igwe, our king. I made up my mind to silence him. I bought a loaf of bread, hid a sharp knife in it. I called him to meet me at Aguilera Junction around 8 p.m. He came with an Okada man and I asked the rider to go. And this was what he said. And Paul said that in the process of him trying to kill Ebuka, that he sustained an injury, but however, he overpowered Ebuka and killed him. He said that he went to the palace to report to the king that he was attacked by robbers and was taken to the hospital for treatment. However, the corpse of the victim was discovered the next day, leading to the arrest of Paul. And even when Paul was still arrested, he kept on saying that they were attacked and that he narrowly escaped. But when his wife and family members visited, he insisted that he was innocent. And after he was moved to a different section of the police headquarters, he had no choice but to confess because of the treatment they were giving him there. They had to ensure that he confessed. He said, I cannot explain the devil that entered my head, and I don't know what to tell my family and kindred. They should all forgive me. What happened was the handwork of the devil, he added. And that was when he now finally confessed because they had now had to torture him. It was looking so suspicious. How come you claim you were attacked all of a sudden and then your relative just died? You ran to the palace to go and report. But it all boiled down to him. There were a lot of things that are linked to him being a suspect, and they had to take him to a second section of the police station where he was thoroughly given beatings that he didn't expect, and he had to confess and said he killed his relative. How wicked can a man be? Someone who helped you when you were in need. At the time for you to pay back in a form of gratitude, you now decided that you were going to take the person's life away from him. This guy was so mean and selfish. He was never in any way willing to even give his relative back the money he loaned him. And this is a young guy of 19 years old who is just managing himself in his own small provision store. Why is it that some people are very kind when it comes to asking you to lend or loan them some amount of money? They will come with all sweet talks, and when it is time for them to pay you back, it's always a very, very big problem. You can imagine what the relative might have gone through that night and see how wicked he can be. He planned this so neatly, and the relative never suspected anything. With this, now people will be very, very scared of loaning money because even someone who is very close to you would even be the same person that would harm you. It says, even there's a section in the Bible that says that the same man who eats with you in the same plate will end up being the same person that would harm you. And that is the truth. It's usually people that are close to you that end up doing things that you can't even believe. Will this guy ever believe that his own relative would take his own life? And even in the course of the struggle, at least he would have even stopped. After he found out that they were struggling and he had already sustained injury, he would have stopped from there and even apologized to the guy. Or try to ensure that he pacify his relative. There are ways of you talking to someone you're owing and let the person see your sincerity. Let the person see that you're struggling to pay back. But in the first place, before you even go to loan money from somebody, sit down and calculate yourself first. Calculate how you plan to pay back. That's a mistake a lot of people who go to borrow money from people tend to make. You don't have any plans to pay back. All you know is let you get that money that time you need it. And life doesn't go like that, because if you keep up like that, you would end up losing a lot of good friends or a lot of people that will be there to help you when you really need them. Because you can't tell me that you want to go and borrow money from somebody and you didn't even plan how to pay back. All your own is, let me have that money and use it for the purpose which I want to use it for. And forgetting that you need to also place the person you're borrowing this money from in a particular position that you would have to consider paying this person back. A lot of people have created enmities between them and friends or family members as a result of going to borrow money and not paying back. And that has made some people these days, they have made up their mind they would never loan money. You can't even blame them. Sometimes some people turn them to be bad people, you're wicked, you're mean. You would not know what they have gone through. And they're only doing that because they want to avoid what has happened before, or they want to avoid losing or breaking relationship with other people. If you go and meet somebody today and the person say, sorry, I can't loan you the money, even if I have it, don't blame that person. Don't call the person a wicked person. And that is how human beings are. When you now go to collect money from people and they refuse, you term them the bad people, the worst people on the surface of the earth. Meanwhile, they tend to forget that some of them go to borrow money from those people. Time to pay back, they are nowhere to be found. Some people would vanish. Some would be so mean that they'll plan evil against you. With this kind of a thing happening, who would even have the urge or the desire to loan people money? See how this guy was so mean. And he's a very greedy person. You were working in a place and they gave you a job that will sustain you and your family. Instead of you utilizing the opportunity well by being honest with your handwork, instead he started eating the money from the community. He already knew that what he was doing was wrong, and if he's caught, it would be terrible for him. He's going to lose his job, and his only source of income would leave him. You now met someone who is willing to assist you. Instead of being grateful and showing gratitude, he decided to take the life of this young man away from him. And does he expect the communities to fold their arms? Or does he expect the family members of this particular young man to watch him walk down the streets freely? It's not possible. Before you go and collect money from someone or borrow, sit down and think. Plan first. How do you intend to pay back? Have a plan B. Don't just stand up and walk up to somebody and say, please borrow me some money. I'll pay you in so time. Some people are so wicked, they know they can't pay back, but they want you to have faith in them and give them the money with the way they will talk and present themselves to you like they are very honest and they already have money coming. Meanwhile, they know that there is no money coming. All in their head is, when the time comes, we'll figure it out. And you are not even thinking of the person who has left some other things he needed to do with that money and decided to loan it to you. And that is a form of help. Some people will say, when you borrow money, you're not helping me, you're just helping yourself. How are you helping yourself if you are loaning someone money? You are at a shortage, you're depriving yourself of certain things, and you're trying to stretch out the hand to help the person. Some people are not daft. You don't expect people to be working, laboring every day, and then you just come and collect their sweat and go walk out like that. People have plans. Some people don't even have plans for themselves at all. Whatever money they get now, they just think of now and consume it, spend money recklessly, and all they have in mind is, when time comes, I will go and borrow. Why do you depend on borrowing money from people? Why can't you think or figure out how to work for yourself? And secondly, borrowing money is not bad, but how to pay back and when to pay back when you don't fulfill your promises, that is where it's bad. And so many people have come in contact with issues like this. You see some people have vowed, even if it's their own family members, they would never loan money to. That is even the worst, your own family member. It's even better you give an outsider than your own family member. Why? Because there is a strong bond between family. And this thing, money, can cause a lot of problems. And you find out that once you loan your own family member and they don't pay back, and you even open your mouth to request, you're termed as the worst family member on the surface of the earth. They now start creating unnecessary enmity with you, all because it's time for you to collect your money back. But when they came to borrow that money, you were the best person on the surface of the earth. And when it's time for you to request your money back, you are not the bad person. They will now talk about you with all other family members and tag you. You don't have sympathy for your brother or your sister or your relative or your cousin. You know this person is not doing anything. Instead of you to be patient with the person and allow the person to pay back when he has the money, you are now making the person look very useless to himself or look very bad towards you. Meanwhile, they will tend to forget that this particular relative, brother or sister, who came to borrow this money from you gave you a specific time to pay back. They would not think of that. All they would think of is your action of having to ask for your money back. You see, that's where there's problem. So it is better you even tell them, sorry, I don't have it at the moment, or sorry, I already have plans to use the money for. Or it's better you try as much as you can to even avoid it so as not to break a bond that you have within family or to break that relationship. Some people will prefer to maintain relationship with you than borrowing you money because they know once they borrow you money, probably you're the type that don't pay back. It's better they don't even give you at all so that you guys can still have your friendship than giving you and then time to pay back. It's now going to turn out to be a thing of fight. Should loaning money to people become a problem, you're stretching your arms to help somebody else, and then they now turn it around to use that same thing against you. People should be very, very careful. If you know you can't pay back, please don't go and borrow. Have plan B first before you go and borrow money from people. Remember that these people you're even going to borrow money from have plans for the money. People don't just stack money and keep it there and be trying to figure out what to do next. And no, people already have plans for whatever resources they have. And so for you that don't have good plans with your own self and with money you borrow, you better watch and be very careful before you go and borrow money to avoid you getting into problems or creating enmity with kind-hearted people that are just open out there to assist you. And never plot evil against someone that has helped you. All this guy did was just to destroy his relative's life after the guy had helped him. He now paid back in a very bad coin. There is something they say, never bite the finger that feeds you. And this is what this guy did. He even went beyond biting the finger, he took out the whole arm completely because he took the life of his young relative. Don't sit down to plot evil against someone that has assisted you. And it's so bad. Some people are so mean that you would go out there to stretch out your hands to help them. You will give some people money, just giving them freely, not you're giving them or loaning them, nothing like that. Once you give them, they will take that same money and go and meet a native doctor to pray evil against you or against your children or against your family members. Why are some people very, very mean? That's why you see some people don't even travel down to their villages or go very far or go to other places to avoid things like this. Some people, they will just go out there. All they're after is waiting and watching for people that are progressing. And then that same money, that's the same thing they will lay curses on you for nothing, no reason, all because they feel you are better than them financially. Don't go to collect money from your fellow human being with the evil intention of destroying that person. That is really, really bad. Please, if you can't pay back or you don't have plans B to pay back, don't borrow money. Try as much as you can to figure a way out to do anything petty. It's not easy, but try. It's better you work hard and earn your own honest living than going to borrow money that will cause problems between you and people. And don't forget, you may need people's help one way or the other. That money you're borrowing may not be the last help you may need from that person. So why destroy a relationship you have with somebody all because of the help the person has rendered to you? Please, people should think twice before you go and borrow money from anybody. And also consider the person you're borrowing money from. Have it at the back of your mind that the person must have given up a lot of things just to help you. And to you, all you should think of is how to appreciate this person back, because the person was there for you when you needed the person's help. And so you should reciprocate that kindness, that kind gesture. Don't sit down and plan evil against someone that has openly assisted or helped you. Friends, what do you all think about this? His little cousin, relative, just helped him out because he saw he was in need. And then a time to pay back came. He knew he was unable to pay. Instead of talking to his relative, he decided to carry out the laws into your hands. Please, if you have anything to say, you could put that down at the comment section. Friends, please don't forget to hit on the like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Friends, I'm here today to talk about how to start up a new YouTube channel. So for those that are looking to start up a new YouTube channel, probably you've been trying to figure out how to go about it, or you have been trying to see what it entails or what you need to start. That's why I'm here today, to give you the easy way for you to get this done. Not just the easy, but the best method, and also to give you or to talk about the best teacher who will give you all that is required for you to start up your own YouTube channel. This is a teacher. He is really successful with his YouTube, and he has been a teacher for so long now. Teacher is Matt Pa. He's going to give you a step-by-step method on how to start up your own YouTube channel. No stone unturned. Every step of the way, he's going to lead you through it. You have links that you can actually reach out to him and communicate with him directly. That's Matt Pa there. You can see the huge successes he has made in YouTube. You can see his silver, you can see the gold, you can also see his revenue that he's actually making on YouTube, which is very huge. He is going to give you a YouTube step-by-step tube mastery class, every step of the way, from the beginning of the opening of the channel to how you can start up and put up your videos. He is leaving no stone unturned, like I said. So for those that are seeking for how to start up their own YouTube channel, this is the easiest and the fastest way for you to have access to this particular teacher who is honest and straightforward, and you will enjoy every bit of the class, and you will have lots of gain. At the end of your class, you will have lots to hold on to and to start up your own YouTube channel. It's going to be like an ABC class, starting from the scratch. So please, for those of you that are interested in starting up your own YouTube channel, Matt Pa, he is the teacher, and you will have direct access to him. I'm dropping the link below, so please, you just click on that link and you will have access to Matt Pa's class. He is going to give you the whole content of YouTube and all that it takes for you to be successful in YouTube, and how to start YouTube from the scratch. Like I said, and I'm going to repeat, he's leaving no stone unturned. And it's so interesting that if you have any kind of complaint, no matter the time you have this complaint or you are confused about anything, You can communicate directly to him and he will give you a response as soon as he gets your question or as soon as he gets your mail or anything you're trying to confirm from him. He is quick at responding and he will give you the right answers. And even if you go elsewhere to search, you find out that what he is saying is actually true. He wouldn't mislead you. So please, for those of you that want to start your own YouTube channel from the scratch and see how you can be successful on YouTube, please go to this link, click on the link below, so you'll have access to the teacher. That's the teacher there you can see and see his success. You can go through that and then you click on the link so that you can have direct access to Matpa himself. This teacher, you will enjoy and enjoy every bit of the classes that he's going to give to you. So friends, do not forget to click the link below so you have access to Matpa's Tube Mastery class, and he will give you the best teaching for YouTube you would really need to start your own channel. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please, for those that have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.